April 13, 1919. Jallianwala Bagh, Amritsar, Punjab. 379 innocent lives were lost. Over 1,200 were injured. These numbers are as per British records. Exact numbers remain disputed.
General Dyer was a very honourable man and greatly liked by the Indian, who spoke 3 or 4 Indian languages, which very few people did.
I think we may be brushing over his contempt.
So your great-uncle, Balwant,
Yes.
what was his experience?
He's a young man. He described himself as a bit of a hellraiser.
So he was a looter. Was he a looter?
I would object quite strongly to the view that they were rioters.
No. I think history is history, and you've got to accept that.
106 years ago, on a hot afternoon of April 13, 1919, what was meant to be a peaceful gathering at the Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar turned into a nightmare that is deeply etched into India's soul. As innocent men, women and children gathered to take part in the annual Baisakhi fair, General Dyer marched in with armed British troops and ordered them to open fire on the gathering, that too without any provocation. The ruthless British army continued to fire gunshots at the unarmed and helpless lives for 10 long minutes, as people scrambled to save themselves. Children clung to lifeless mothers, elders collapsed in pools of blood. There was no warning, no mercy, only horror. General Dyer showed no remorse, even for a brief second. Minutes later, the entire sight went silent. All that filled the air were the silent pleas of those dying. That day, the heart of Bharat bled, but her resolve hardened. While General Dyer might be an honourable man for his great-granddaughter, his act of genocide of the thousands of Indians only made him ruthless, merciless and heartless. It has been more than a century since the most horrific atrocities were committed under colonial rule. The British government has yet to issue a formal apology. Though in 2019, then Prime Minister Theresa May called the massacre a shameful scar, the statement fell short of an outright apology. Recently, British MP Bob Blackman also called on the government to issue a clear and unambiguous apology. Yet, those appeals remain largely ignored. Similarly, other British MPs such as Virendra Sharma, Tanmanjeet Singh Desi, Seema Malhotra and Clive Lewis are among those who have spoken out in the Parliament about the horrific incident. Despite this, the government has remained reluctant to fully acknowledge the atrocity. Even the British royal family, which has visited Jallianwala Bagh, has offered only gestures of regret, no apology. This ongoing reluctance raises uncomfortable questions. Why is the UK government unwilling to confront the darkest chapter of its imperial legacy? What message does this silence send to the descendants of those who suffered? And how long must victims' families wait?